start expanding my knowledge a little bit, especially as it comes to like health and wellness.
In my opinion, I'm dope, right? I think I'm a cool person. Created a board game, wrote 5 books. We own real estate, own our own business. We have a dope team.
I want to be able to just be myself.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Melanated Married Millionaires in the Making show. King, where can I go to stay connected with us?
Y'all can stay tapped into the show at them4show.com. That's them4show.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at them4show.
Now, let's get into the episode.
For you, love, what are 3 words you want to help describe and build your identity in 2024? All right, and these can be words that you hope people use to describe you. These can be words that you feel like you want to just use to describe yourself. Mm-hmm. Three words could be considered core values in some ways, but what you thinking? I was just saying all that to give you time to think.
Yeah, and I still only have one, so the other 2 will just be off the dome.
Make it a strong one.
Intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be intentional. I want to, and this is more, I think, of what I want to be for myself. I want to be very intentional with where I'm putting my energy, with, the things I'm doing on a daily basis. I want to get better at, having an intentional to-do list of like, this is what you're getting up and doing today. That
to-do list is crazy right now.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's helpful still because, again, it makes me feel like the things I'm doing are accomplishing an overall goal. Yeah. Whereas sometimes I'm just doing things and I'm like, yeah, this is part of the business or this is what I should be doing, but and then we also talked about the mindset of like just checking things off and how I do feel good just checking things off for the day. Yeah. So I definitely want to be intentional again about this is what I'm doing for the day. Like before I go to the office and just start doing things, like stop. What are you doing for the day? What is your plan? How does this, work towards your goals? Like we created a vision board, like all those things.
Yeah.
I want to be intentional about, getting up and moving my body. I want to be intentional about the things I'm eating and the things I'm consuming, how much social media time I'm getting. I just want to be very intentional this year so that I'm not just in the daily grind. I'm not just going with the flow. Like I want to have intention for everything I'm doing.
Nice.
2 others.
Yeah, so while you think about those 2 others, I think in alignment with intention, my word is going to be purpose. I definitely want to make sure that everything I'm doing, very similar to what you're talking about, is in alignment with what my long-term vision and purpose is on this planet. And I think I'm getting more comfortable with I am here to educate. Right now I'm reading a book about Carter G. Woodson. And like the book is dope because it goes through like his early life as a kid, the fact that he was taught by his uncles. And if y'all don't know, Carter G. Woodson is the founder of Negro History Week, right, which turned into Black History Month. Also the author of The Miseducation of the Negro. So he's done like so much in alignment with education, with alignment for the Black community. And it's just dope how almost everything in his life was getting him ready for that purpose. So yeah, I think I want to do a little bit more self-reflection with my beautiful therapist here on the things that have happened in my life, good or bad, that are all preparing me for what my purpose is going to be as a husband, my purpose as a father, my purpose as an educator. I really think I'm trying to get zoomed in on purpose.
I like it. My second one is going to be authentic. And in similar alignment, I want to be my authentic self. And I think that like being able to work for myself, work for our own business is definitely a step in the right direction, where I think like having a corporate job, needing to go into the office, like
put your face on,
put on your face is exhausting, right? I've been there, done that. And I think not having to do that has allowed me to be more of myself throughout the day, and I think has alleviated just a lot of daily stress off of me. But I think there's still work to do. I think just even in a lot of my friendships and relationships, like I want to be able to just be myself, and whether that means that I drift towards certain folks or away from other folks. Like that is what it is, and that's what's meant to be, because I want to be in my authentic self. I don't want to be trying to be something or another thing to people please, right? Or to fit this mold of what somebody thinks I'm supposed to be or anything like that. Like, I just want to be myself. This is the year where I'm trying to just alleviate a lot of stress, right? Again, talk about like the family growth. Like, my big thing is I want to just be able to be in the moment. I want to be able to experience all of that life of that process will bring. I don't want to be stressing about things like people pleasing or, upholding this person that I'm supposed to be. I just want to be me. And I want to even discover what that feels like, because I feel like sometimes, again, we get lost in the trying to be something or trying to put the face on or whatever it is. And so I want to discover and really live in what that authentic self means for me.
Yeah, that's good. And I think the hardest part for me about being authentic is knowing that it's okay for some people not to like that authentic version of you.
Yeah, that is hard.
And I think sometimes you go into work and you want to get a certain reaction, so you wear a certain suit, you wear a certain tie, you put your hair a certain way because you want acceptance from this workplace. But especially within my log journey, and maybe in your log journey, like, there's stuff that you can't hide.
Right.
Now it's like you're you, unafraid, naked in some ways. And some people are going to like it, some people aren't. But as long as you like it, as long as you love it, that's all that matters.
Yeah. A really microcosm example of this was the other day when we were at dinner with my parents. Dad, love you. I walked with my edges laid. He calls out my edges because I don't do them every day. Trust me. Like, if I'm not on camera, if I'm at home, like, I'm just me. But like when I'm gonna be presenting myself or when I'm stepping out, like, I like to have the Ledges aid. Wow.
The Ledges aid. Come on, that's a brand right there.
I'm done.
Get you some Ledges aid.
I like to have my edges laid. I think it just makes the locks look clean. I feel confident, and it is more about how I feel about myself than how anybody else thinks. But I walked in and my dad was like, "What's going on with your hair?" And I was just like, what? He's like, "It looks like your hair is like painted on your forehead." I was just like, "Oh, does it?" Like, I'm like, I did a good job then, right? That means they're laid. And I'm just like, he was probably meant to be like, "What is going on?" But I was just like, I take that as a compliment. That means they're laid. I liked how they looked. I'm happy. Like, whereas before I might have been like, "Dang, you didn't like how my edges." Were other people thinking that? Like, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like more of that. More of the like, okay, you think that? Cool. Well, I like them, so we gonna rock with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, authentic is a good one. Still think of that third one. I'm gonna buy you a little bit of time.
Thank you.
Right. You got intentional. You got authentic. For me, first word was purposeful. I think second word I'm gonna go with, and I'm in between whether I want to go with genius or
You see her? The way she said, genius.
I don't know, genius or just intellectual. But I think I like the concept of just being a source of information, right? And I like the concept and the identity of me being a reader. I'm getting, like, in 2024, I've gotten more into reading every single day. Like, there was a time where we were in the middle of watching something on the couch. It was nighttime and I hadn't read yet. I was like, "Oh, Queen, hold on. Pause it. I gotta go read for 15 minutes and then we can come back." But I like information.
Yeah.
And I think specifically learning about Black history, learning about different people within Black history, learning about psychology, even health, like just knowing those things helps me move more purposeful in life. So I think I want to claim my nerdiness more, read more books, be able to retain more books. And then, of course, I think the ultimate gift to people is knowledge. So me being able to take the time to read this information, make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit more saucy, bring it up to 2023, and then be able to give that information in a podcast, in the teaching, the courses that we do, and mentoring people, I think is, again, a way that I gift to the world.
Nice.
So you wouldn't use genius? What are you trying to say?
No, I would. It was the way you were trying to act like it was going to be so nonchalant, and then you landed with genius. That was the funny thing.
Okay.
You're a genius, King. I think that.
Thank you. That's all that matters.
I I think mine is going to be actually along the same lines as I want to be
Of
curious.
genius? Oh.
Can I go? It's going to be curious. I want to be curious. And like not just curious, but I want to actually like act on that curiosity and like educate myself kind of in a similar way. I feel like sometimes I get in the mindset of like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing right now. So like, don't research it, don't do anything. And I just let it go. But I feel like I have questions, like about the human body, about the women's body, about the childbirth process. Like I have so many questions and unknowns about that. And I feel like, again, it's just like, that's not what you're supposed to be focusing right now. So I don't think about it. But it's like, I do have a goal and a mission to help women, to help, mothers, in that process. So it behooves me and it feeds into the purpose to look into those things, because me having understanding of that means I can pass that knowledge on to another person, another family.
Right.
So I want to give myself some time. It's probably going to end up just being some time on my schedule. Because again, the barrier right now is like, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. And that doesn't necessarily get me towards any of the goals right now. But again, now knowing that is a goal of mine, I want to set aside some time to allow that curiosity, to do some research, to look at some research studies, to read some articles, to listen to some podcasts, to gain that knowledge and have it be a part of my routine, so that I can, again, just widen. I think I'm in a space where I hear a lot of the same things I already know. So to me, it tells me it's time for me to grow. It's time for me to start looking into something else that I am not familiar with. And although, yes, it's going to be a process, it might be a little confusing. I might need to ask for some help or get a second opinion or whatever, but that's part of the growing process. So I'm ready to, start expanding my knowledge a little bit, especially as it comes to like health and wellness.
Nice. And so what helps me with the daily curiosity or expanding knowledge is like just saying, I'm going to do something for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I think sometimes when we say like, I want to read a book every single day, and then we go through the whole day and like, I didn't have time to read today. But I was like, did you have 10 minutes where you could have sat down and listened to a podcast, or did you have 10 minutes where you could have sat down and read a book? Has been helpful for me. So I just want to sprinkle that in.
Thank you.
Help me out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
You caught it? Thank you. My last one is going to be, I don't know how to say this, love, but I think I'm a very humble person. I think I don't brag about myself, and I feel sometimes even bad when I mention things that are good achievements, right? And I think achievements that I should be proud of, but I don't want to sound like I'm being boastful. I want to sound like I'm being braggadocious, so I usually don't say anything, and I'll be the quiet person in the room. Not quiet in the sense that I'm not talking, but quiet in the sense of I'm not talking about myself and what we have achieved. But I think in 2024 and beyond, I want to get more comfortable and maybe in my confidence in what I've achieved, right? Give me a better word for it. What's the opposite of humble, but not necessarily jerk?
I mean, the word that I was thinking of is confident.
Confident?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think if there's a better word while you're talking.
I feel like there's something better, but I want to be more confident. I want to be more proud of what I've accomplished. Because in my opinion,
Prideful, is that not?
Prideful, not quite the vibe I'm going for yet. Okay. In my opinion, I'm dope, right? I think I'm a cool person.
You're dope.
Thank you. In my wife's opinion, I'm dope. Created a board game, wrote 5 books. We own real estate, own our own business. We have a dope team. We have an amazing brand that's creating an impact. So I feel like on paper, if I was reading about myself, I'd be like, sheesh, that guy's really cool. But on the day-to-day, because I don't put myself up that often and I don't brag about myself, I feel like I feel normal. And not that, there's anything wrong with being normal, but I feel like we haven't worked this hard to be normal. Right, and I think Jay-Z has a line, I don't know exactly what it is either Jay-Z or Kanye, where he says like, I didn't do all this work to be around the same people doing the same stuff, right? And I feel like sometimes we work so hard, but because we're humble people, because we don't brag about ourselves, it feels like I haven't, and this is her therapy coming out too. But sometimes I feel like I'm not good enough or I haven't achieved enough because I don't say or talk about what I've done. But then when I talk about it, it's like, oh no, you're good. Like you're a dope person. You've done a lot of great stuff. You can stop right now and still be perfectly fine. But yeah, I have that sense of haven't done enough yet.